Shocking news, Catholics! President Donald Trump's new cabinet could be the most Catholic in American history. Can you believe it? Leaders like Sean Duffy, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, and more are bringing their Catholic faith to the highest levels of power. As Catholics, we're called to see God's hand in every moment, and this is monumental. These leaders, shaped by Mass, saints, and sacraments, could steer America toward God's truth, or face trials that test their souls. What does this mean for our church and nation? You imagine a cabinet where leaders like Sean Duffy, Marco Rubio, and Caroline Leavitt draw strength from the Rosary, the Eucharist, and the wisdom of saints. This isn't a dream. It's the reality shaking America today. St. John Paul II declared, "Faith must permeate every aspect of society." This unprecedented Catholic presence in Trump's administration could do just that, but it's also a clarion call for us to live our faith boldly. Let's dive into how these leaders' Catholic roots shape their roles and challenge us to answer God's call in our own lives. First, family is the bedrock of Catholic life. Sean Duffy, raised in a Wisconsin home bursting with 11 siblings, learned faith around the dinner table. Mass, nightly prayers, and love for big families defined his childhood. He calls every child a gift from God. The Catechism names the family the domestic church, where faith takes root, CCC 2207. Duffy's role in transportation could prioritize policies that strengthen communities, like safer roads for families. St. Joseph, protector of the Holy Family, models this mission. His quiet devotion safeguarded Christ. Could Duffy's faith bring family-centered values to infrastructure? Imagine policies reflecting God's love for every life. What a powerful witness! Second, the sacraments are the soul's lifeline. Marco Rubio, a Miami Catholic, attends Mass at the Church of the Little Flower, proclaiming, "God is real." He's fully aligned with church doctrine, drawing strength from confession and the Eucharist. St. Faustina wrote that the Eucharist makes us living tabernacles. Diary, 1392. Rubio's faith could guide foreign policy toward peace and justice, perhaps fostering diplomacy rooted in mercy. Picture a Secretary of State praying before negotiations. Could this reflect Christ's compassion on the world stage? St. Thomas More, a statesman and martyr, stayed true to faith in power. Rubio's example urges us to seek sacramental grace, to face our own challenges with courage. Third, saints light the way. J.D. Vance, baptized in 2019, chose St. Augustine as his patron. Augustine's journey from doubt to truth mirrors Vance's path from a turbulent childhood to faith. His confessions teach that faith sharpens the intellect. Vance wrote, "Augustine gave me a way to understand Christian faith intellectually." As vice president, his faith could shape economic policies with moral clarity, prioritizing workers and families. Augustine's words, "Our hearts are restless until they rest in you," could drive Vance to seek God's will. His conversion inspires us to wrestle with truth, even when it's hard. Could Vance's leadership reflect Augustine's pursuit of justice? It's a challenge to trust God's plan in our own lives. Fourth, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. lives his faith through St. Francis of Assisi's call to serve the poor and creation. Raised praying the Rosary daily, sometimes thrice, he sees Francis as a model for social justice and environmental care. Kennedy's book, St. Francis of Assisi, A Life of Joy, reveals his devotion. As health secretary, he could reform healthcare to prioritize the vulnerable, balancing human dignity with stewardship. St. Francis's radical love transformed lives. Could Kennedy's policies do the same? Imagine a health system guided by compassion. not profit. His example pushes us to serve the marginalized in our communities, whether volunteering or advocating. Kennedy's faith reminds us that small acts of love can heal a broken world. Fifth, prayer is our greatest weapon. Tom Homan, one of 7 siblings in a New York Catholic family, grew up in the same pew every Sunday. His faith blends mercy with justice in border policy, aiming to protect lives while upholding law. Scripture calls us to pray for leaders, 1 Timothy 2:1-2. St. Monica's relentless prayers converted Augustine. Ours could guide Homan. Try this. Tonight, light a candle, hold your rosary, and ask Mary to grant him wisdom. Prayer isn't passive. It's a spiritual battle for souls, including our nation's. I know a woman who prayed daily for her mayor. Soon, he supported a pro-life initiative. Homan's faith challenges us to intercede for leaders facing impossible choices, trusting God to work through them. Sixth, living faith boldly is our call. Caroline Levitt, set to be the youngest press secretary, credits Central Catholic High School and St. Anselm College for her discipline and service. She prays daily to handle stress, saying, "My faith in God carries me through." Her public witness could inspire millions. The Second Vatican Council urges lay Catholics to renew the temporal order. Lumen Gentium 31. Levitt's courage reminds us to bring faith to work or school. A man I met started workplace prayers. Within months, his colleagues joined him at Mass. Whether it's defending truth in a meeting or teaching kids to pray, our actions matter. Levitt's example. Eighth, humility keeps faith authentic. These leaders aren't perfect. None of us are. Stefanik's vote for same-sex marriage drew criticism from bishops, showing the tension of faith in public life. Rubio's journey included a brief time in another faith, yet he returned to Catholicism. Vance converted late, proving faith can bloom anywhere. St. Peter denied Christ, but became the rock. Humility redeemed him. Their flaws remind us to seek God's mercy through confession. A man I met confessed after years away. His renewed faith transformed his family. These leaders' struggles challenge us to examine our hearts, trusting God to guide us through weakness. Now, let's act. Start tonight. Pray a rosary for Duffy, Rubio, Vance, Kennedy, Homan, Levitt, Stefanik, McMahon, and Ratcliffe, asking for wisdom and courage. Go to confession this week. Let God's mercy renew you. Take one bold step. Share your faith with a friend, volunteer at a pro-life center, or read a page of the Catechism daily. A family I know began nightly prayers. Within weeks, their kids returned to Mass. This Catholic moment isn't just for leaders, it's for you. The Church calls us to holiness. CCC 2013. Don't wait. Start today and watch God build His kingdom through your faith. This Catholic surge in Trump's cabinet, Sean Duffy, Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and their peers, is a divine wake-up call. Their faith, rooted in family pews, sacraments, and saints like Augustine and Francis, could guide America toward God's truth. This isn't just their moment. It's ours, a chance to renew our nation and church. St. Francis of Assisi rebuilt God's house one humble stone at a time. These leaders, from Duffy's pro-life passion to Levitt's daily prayers, challenge us to do the same. Their journeys show faith can thrive in power's glare, inspiring us to live boldly. Don't let this pass. Tonight, pray a rosary for Duffy, Rubio, Vance, Kennedy, Homan, Levitt, Stefanik, McMahon, and Ratcliffe, asking Mary to guide their hearts. Go to confession this week. Let God's mercy renew you. Take one bold step. Share your faith with a coworker, volunteer at a pro-life center, or teach your kids to pray. I know a man who prayed daily. His family returned to Mass, their hearts transformed. The Catechism calls us to holiness. CCC 2013. This is your moment to answer. Your actions can spark a revival, just like these leaders. Don't wait. Start now and watch God work through you. Hit subscribe, ring the bell, and comment how your faith inspires you. Share this video to spread Christ's love far and wide. Let's live fearlessly for Him together today.